Hello, in this lecture we talk about the structure of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. Actually, the poem consists of 1669 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 4 lines, and each line consists of 16 syllables. And the stanza is built according to a special poetic form that is called shairi. And we have two types of shairi, Magali shairi and Dabali shairi. In Magali shairi, actually each stanza in the form of shairi consists of 4 lines, and each line consists of 16 syllables. And in the shairi form, each line of the 16 syllables is broken into 4 segments. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first type is Magali shairi. In Magali shairi, the 16 syllables in each line is broken into 4 segments of 4 syllables. Each segment consists of 4 syllables. It is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. While in the Dabali shairi, the 16 syllables are also broken into 4 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4. But here, the first segment consists of 5 syllables, the second segment consists of 3 syllables. Then we have a break after the first 2 segments. Then the third segment consists of 5 syllables. And finally, the fourth segment consists of 3 syllables. So in the Dabali shairi, the structure of the 16 syllables are 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, while in Magali shairi, the structure of the 16 syllables are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And we'll use, the poet used Dabali shairi when the pace of the plot is fast. Then the poet uses the Magali shairi, and the pace of the plot is fast when in one stanza you have things that happened during a long period of time. Then we can say that the plot of the piece is fast, therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last 2 syllables of the last word in the line. Okay? And the second type of shairi is the Dabali shairi. We will use the poet uses the Dabali shairi when the plot of the pace of the plot is slow. And for example, when the poet quotes the things that someone said, then this thing happened at a certain moment, and therefore the pace of the plot will be slow, and therefore the structure of the syllables will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. And the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay? And we have another characteristic of the structure of the poem is that the poet repeats at least on the last three letters of the last word in each line. So he repeats at least of the last three letters, so that is to say he can repeat on more than three letters, 6 letters, 7 letters. So we will understand what I mean by the example that I will give you. So we'll start with stanza 802. It is in chapter 11. Chapter 11 is the testament of Tandil, that is the commander of the Arab armies, to King Rostevan. He is the king of Arabia when he stole away. So here in stanza 802, the poet quotes the things that Tandil told to King Rostevan. And as I already mentioned, whenever the poet quotes the things that someone tells to someone else, then the pace of the plot is slow, and therefore it will be Dabari Shairi, and the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. So I will read the stanza in the translation to English, then I will read it in the original language, in the Georgian language, and we will analyze the stanza. Okay? In stanza 802, Tandil tells King Rostevan that if something bad will happen to him while he is in the journey to India to meet his friend Tariel, and no one, he will die and no one will be able to find his body, then he asks from King Rostevan that King Rostevan will have a pity on him and will mention his name, that King Rostevan will say about him good things. Okay, so I'll read the stanza. If fate, the destroyer of all, destroy me, an orphan I shall die, traveling unmourned by parent, nor will those who brought me up, nor the friend whom I trust enshroud me. Then indeed will you, merciful, tender heart, have pity on me. Okay. Now I will read the stanza in the original language, in the Georgian language, and we will analyze the stanza. To such ut Roman damam hos, ovelta damam hobelman, Haribi mogde haribat, verdami tiros mshobelman, Verar shem sudron dazdilta da verza misan dobelman, Munshem itz'alos twenman ve, Hulman motz'alem lobelman. Okay, so here in the first line of stanza 802, we have the first two words are tu sa'ut roman. Tu consists of one syllable. Sa'ut roman consists of four syllables. So in total, those two words of line number 1 consist of 5 syllables. Then the third word of line number 1 is da mamchos. It consists of 3 syllables. Then we have ovelta, consists of 3 syllables. Da mam or da mamch consists of 2 syllables. So in total, ovelta da mamch consists of 5 syllables. So it is 5 plus 3 plus 5. And finally, we have obelman. Obelman consists of 3 syllables. Obelman. So in conclusion, line number 1 of stanza 802 is divided into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. The last word of line number 1 is damam hobelman. Damam hobelman consists of 5 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of this word, obelman. So here we have obelman, 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 and obelman. Okay? And the repetition, the rule is that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. Here the poet repeats on obelman. Obelman consists of 7 letters: O, B, A, L, M, A, and L. So in stanza 802, the repetition is on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. Okay, we continue to line number 2. Then we have Raribi Mokde. Raribi consists of 3 syllables. Mokde consists of 2 syllables. So in total, the first 2 words of line number 2 consist of 5 syllables. Then we have Raribad. Raribad consists of 3 syllables. Then we have the next 2 words are ver damitiros. Ver consists of 1 syllable. Damitiros consists of 4 syllables. So those 2 words, ver damitiros, in total consist of 5 syllables. And the last word is shobelman. Shobelman consists of 3 syllables. Obelman. In conclusion, you can say that the structure of the 16 syllables or line number 2 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in line number 2. The last word is shobelman, and the rhyming is on obelman. That is to say, in the last 3 syllables of the last word, shobelman. Okay, then we have line number 3. Veral consists of 2 syllables. Shem, Sud, Ron consists of 3 syllables. In total, the first 2 words, Veral, Shem, Sud, Ron, consist of 5 syllables. Then the third word of line number 3 is das, dil, ta. It consists of 3 syllables. Then we have Da verza misand. Da consists of one syllable, verza consists of two syllables, and misand consists of two syllables. So it is 1 plus 2 plus 2, that is in total 5 syllables. And finally, we have Obelman, that consists of 3 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that line number 3 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables. And the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word. The last word is Misandobelman. The word Misandobelman consists of 5 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say, Obelman. Again, the repetition here is on the last 7 letters of the last word in line number 3. The last word in line number 3 is Misandobelman. It consists of 2, 4. It consists of 13 letters. Anyway, here it consists 13 letters and 5 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of this last word in line number 3, that is to say, Obelman. And the repetition is on the last 7 letters of the last word, Misandobelman. That is to say, Obelman consists of the letters O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. And finally, we have line number 4 of stanza 802, Moon Shemitzralos. Moon consists of 1 syllable, Shemitzralos consists of 4 syllables. In total, the first 2 words of line number 4 consist of 5 syllables. Then we have the third word of line number 4 is Tquen Manwe. Tquen Manwe consists of 3 syllables. Then we have Gulman Motzalem Lobelman. Actually, Motzalem Lobelman is very long word. So here we have Gulman consists of 2 syllables, and Motzaleh consists of 3 syllables. So in total it is 5 syllables. And finally we have the last word, actually, Motzalem Lobelman. The last 3 syllables of this long word is Obelman. So in conclusion, you can say that line number 4 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in line number 4. The last word in line number 4 is Motzalem Lobelman, and the last 3 syllables of this word is Obelman. Therefore, the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say, Obelman. And the repetition is on the last 7 letters of the last word in line number 4, that is to say, Motzalem Lobelman. The last 7 letters are O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. So in conclusion, we can say that stanza 802 is built according to the Dabali Shairi, because of the fact that we are talking here about the quoting of the things that Avtandil told to King Osevan. Whenever you quote someone, it will be always in the slow pace, and therefore in the slow pace in each line the 16 syllables are broken to 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Here, I repeat again that the last word in line number 1 is Damam Hobelman. It consists of 5 syllables, and the poet, the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, Obelman. The second and the last word of line number 2 is Shobelman, and the rhyming is on Obelman. The last word of line number 3 is Nisan Dobelman. It consists of 5 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say Obelman. And finally, and the last word of line number 4 is Motzalem Lobelman, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say Obelman, and the repetition is on the last 7 syllables of the last word in each line. The 7 letters are O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Okay. So we finish with stanza 802. In the next step, we will analyze stanza 791. Stanza 791 is an aphorism about love. Okay, what is an aphorism? An aphorism is a concise statement about principle, truth, or sentiment. Okay, and stanza 791 is aphorism about love. So I will read the stanza in the English translation, then I will read it in the original language, and we will analyze stanza 791. Okay, so stanza 791 in the English translation is as follows: Thou hast read how the apostles write of love, how they speak of it, how they praise it. Now thou eat and harmonize thy knowledge. Love exalteth us. This is, as it were, the tinkling burden of the earth song. If thou conceive not this, how can I convince ignorant men? Okay. Usually, an aphorism will be, according to Marali Shairi, the fast pace, but there are also exceptions. This aphorism that is about love, it is indeed in the fast pace, that is to say, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line, or we can say that in each line the 16 syllables are broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay, so I read the stanza in the original language, and we will analyze the stanza. צגיק יתחבס, סירואל ולשה, מוציא קולני, רגואל צרן, ויתתרוין, ויתעכבן, צן, צנובני מהפרן. סירואל רולי, אגווה מרלפס, ויתשגואני, אמס ג'רן, שנר ג'לחר, וסטבללי קצני, ויתמסה שבע ג'רן. So the first word of line number 1 is Tza-Gi-Kit-Chavs. It consists of 4 syllables. The second word of line number 1 of stanza 791 is Sir-Va-Rul-Sa. It consists also of 4 syllables. Then the third word of line number 1 is Mo-Chi-Kul-Ni. It consists of 4 syllables. And finally, the last 2 words of line number 1 are Ragwar, Tseren. Ragwar consists of 2 syllables. Tseren consists also of 2 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that the line number 1, the 16 syllables here are broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. The last word in line number 1 is Tseren. And the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say Eren, 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 and Eren. And the poet repeats on the last 4 letters of the last word. The last word of line number 1 is Tseren. It consists of 5 letters, and they repeats on the last 4 letters, that is to say A, R, A, and N. Eren consists of the letters A, R, A, and N. Okay, then in line number 2 of stanza 791, we have the first 2 words are wheat, Itruyan. Wheat consists of 1 syllable. Itruyan consists of 3 syllables. So in total, the first 2 words of line number 2 consist of 4 syllables. Then the next 2 words in line number 2 are wheat, Akeben. Wheat consists of 1 syllable. Akeben consists of 3 syllables. So in total, the word wheat, Akeben consists of 4 syllables. Then the next 2 words are Tzan, Snobani. Tzan consists of 1 syllable. Snobani consists of 3 syllables. So in total, those 2 words, Tzan, Snobani, consist of 4 syllables. And finally, we have the last word of line number 2 is Mi-A-Peren. Mi-A-Peren consists of 4 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that line number 2 is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word of line number 2. The last word of line number 2 is Mi-A-Peren. It consists of 4 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say Eren. And the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word. The last word is Mi-A-Peren. The repetition is on Eren. Eren consists of the letters A, R, A, and N. Okay, then we have line number 3 of stanza 791. The first word of line number 3 is Sir-Va-Rul-Sa. Sir-Va-Rul-Li consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the second word of line number 3 is Ar-Wa-Mar-Lebs. It consists also of 4 syllables. Then we have the next 2 words is Vit Ejwani. Vit consists of 1 syllable. Ejwani consists of 3 syllables. In total, those 2 words, Vit Ejwani, consist of 4 syllables. And finally, the last 2 words of line number 3 are Amas, Jreren. Amas consists of 2 syllables, and Jreren consists also of 2 syllables. In conclusion, you can say that the structure of the 16 syllables of line number 3 are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or line number 3 is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word of line number 3. The last word is jreren, and the last 2 syllables are eren. So the rhyming is on eren, and the last 4, the poet repeats on the last 4 letters of the last word, that is jreren, and the last 4 letters are A-R, A and N. Okay, and then we have line number 4 of stanza 791. We have here the first 4 words are shen, al, jer, chal. Each word consists of 1 syllable. Therefore, in total, those 4 words consist of 4 syllables. Then the 5th word of line number 4 is us, tzav, lel, ni. It consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the next 2 words of line number 4 of stanza 791 is katzni, vitmtza. Katzni consists of 2 syllables, vitmtza consists also of 2 syllables, so in total those 2 words, katzni, vitmtza, consist of 4 syllables. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is sheva jeren. Sheva jeren consists of 4 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that line number 4 is broken into 4 segments of 4 syllables. Each segment consists of 4 syllables, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word of line number 4. The last word of line number 4 is sheva jeren, and the last 2 syllables of sheva jeren is eren. Okay, so the rhyming is on syllables eren. Okay, here the rhyming in stanza 791 is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say eren, 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 and eren, and the repetition in line number 4 is on the last 4 letters of the last word. The last word is sheva jeren, and the repetition is on eren, that is to say on letters A, R, A and N. Okay, so in conclusion, you can say that stanza 791 is according to the Magali Shairi, it is in a fast pace, and the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say eren, 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 and eren, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line. And the last 4 letters of the last word in each line, as we have already seen, are A, R, A and N. Okay, so we finished with 791. So in the next step we'll see stanza number 2. Actually, this great poem, The Night in the Panther Skin, has prologue and epilogue, and stanza number 2 is part of the prologue. And because of the fact that the prologue is not part of the story of the poem, therefore the structure here, it will be according to the slow pace, and the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay, and you will see here on how many letters of the last word in each line the poet repeats. The rule is that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. Okay, so I read in stanza number 2, it is a prologue, and in the prologue the poet praises God that created the universe. He asks from God to shield him from the Satan, and they also ask from God that God will give him the longing of the lovers lasting unto death, and also that God will lighten the burden of his sins. Okay, so I read the stanza in the translation to Hebrew, then I read the translation to English, then I read it in the original language, and we will see how many letters of the last word the poet repeats. So the stanza number 2 in the English translation is as follows: O one God, thou didst create the face of every form. Shield me, give me mastery to trample on Satan. Give me the longing of lovers, lasting even unto death. Lightening of the burden of sins I must bear thither with me. Okay. Now I read the stanza in the original language. Merto, shen shekmen sacher oblista tanisa, shen damipare tzleva metz dat kun vad mesatanisa, moments mijnurta survili sikudid me kasatanisa, codvata shesubukeba montana tasatanisa. Okay. I will not repeat on every word of this stanza. I've already mentioned that this stanza is in the Balishari, it is in slow pace, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Here, the last word of line number 1 is Tanisa. And actually, the poet repeats on all the letters of the last word. That is to say, Tanisa consists of letters T, A, N, E, S, and A. While the last word of line number 2 is Satanisa. The word Satanisa consists of 8 letters, and the repetition is on the last 6 letters, that is to say T, A, N, E, S, and A, Tanisa. Okay? And the last word of line number 3 is Kasatanisa. Kasatanisa consists of 10 letters, and the repetition is on Tanisa, that consists of the letters T, A, N, E, S, and A. And finally, the last word of line number 4 of stanza 2 is Tasatanisa. The word Tasatanisa consists of 10 letters, and the repetition is on Tanisa, that consists of the letters T, A, N, E, S, and A. So in conclusion, you can say that stanza number 2, that is the prologue to the poem, is in the Dabari Shairi in a slow pace, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line are 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa, and the repetition is on the last 6 letters of the last word in each line. Tanisa consists of 6 letters, T, A, N, E, S, and A. Okay? So, actually, in order to combine all those 2 characters in one poem, you must be super genius. And indeed, the great poet Shota Ostavelli succeeded to do this mission, and we can read and enjoy this masterpiece that is one of the greatest poems that was written by mankind. Okay, thank you very much.